Right now, live at 5, Minnesota's governor makes a big move, opening up vaccinations to any state resident 16 years or older. As vaccines become available to younger people, public health experts are warning the pandemic is far from over. Plus,
the reasons behind one local group's demand for change from the Duluth Police Department.
And later, the UMD men's hockey team advances due to COVID. CBS3 sports anchor Kelly Hinseth will join us for the latest from the NCAA playoffs.
You're watching Live at 5 on Live Local CBS3.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Kristen Bakke. The local NAACP is accusing the Duluth Police Department of race-based discrimination. Now activists are demanding the department make some big changes. CBS3's Natalie Grant joins us live from outside City Hall. Natalie, what exactly does the NAACP want the police department to do?
Kristen, in a press conference earlier this afternoon, Duluth NAACP leaders pointed to recently released data showing alleged racial disparities in arrests, use of force rates, jail, and school discipline rates in Duluth. Now, Jeremy Sharp, the co-chair of the NAACP Criminal Justice Committee, says data released by the department shows BIPOC community members made up more than 30% of use of force incidents in 2019, despite making up less than 3% of the Duluth population. To solve these disparities, the NAACP laid out a list of demands for the Duluth Police Department. First, they want the use of force and arrest rates to reflect racial demographics in our region. Second, they want the Duluth Police Department to produce biannual reports showing both changes in practices and improvement rates. And third is releasing data showing the race of suspects in all of their traffic stops and canine bites. NAACP members say that they are willing and ready to work with both city and the police department to address these demands.
The Duluth Police Department has engaged in years of racially biased policing against Black, Indigenous, and other peoples of color. The Duluth NAACP is an agent of change. We advocate for smarter, result-based criminal justice policies to keep our communities safe.
Shortly after, Duluth Police Chief Mike Tuskin and Duluth Mayor Emily Larson responded to the demands from the NAACP, saying that they are willing to work with them in order to address these concerns. Chief Tuskin says transparency is a core value of their organization and will provide any information necessary.
As many of you know, we've worked with community before to build policies together, and this will be an opportunity for us to work together and improve how we police and our social contract we have with this community.
Duluth Mayor Emily Larson thanked the members of the NAACP for bringing this topic to life. She says that is something that they are aware of as a city and are looking to address it. Now, in these press conferences today, both the NAACP and the city of Duluth said that there will be many more updates and press conferences as they start to work together to address this change. Kristen.
Natalie Grant in Duluth for us tonight. Thanks, Natalie. Well, on Monday, opening statements will begin in what's expected to be one of the most watched trials in Minnesota's history. Former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin is facing second and third degree murder charges in George Floyd's death. Prosecutors and the defense spent the last 3 weeks choosing a jury. After hearing all arguments, it will be up to those 12 people to determine Chauvin's fate. The Minnesota National Guard says its soldiers and airmen are ready to answer the call for whatever protests or unrest may arise during the trial. More and more states are opening COVID-19 vaccine eligibility to younger adults, but health experts warn Americans should not let their guard down. They're also weighing in on President Biden's new vaccine pledge and a controversial theory about how the pandemic began. Skylar Henry reports from Washington.
By saying it's clear there is a case for optimism, but there is not a case for relaxation.
With states from coast to coast beginning to expand vaccine eligibility, public health officials are warning the coronavirus pandemic is far from over.
The 7-day average of deaths continues to hover at 1,000 deaths per day. I remain deeply concerned about this trajectory.
Beginning next week, adults of all ages in Texas and Oklahoma will be able to get a shot. California will soon open up its program to those as young as 16.
In just a few weeks, There'll be no rules, no limitations.
The speedier rollout comes as President Biden announced a new goal to administer 200 million doses by his 100th day in office.
We're also continuing to bring more federally run mass vaccination centers online in Boston, Massachusetts, Norfolk, Virginia, and Newark, New Jersey.
Some county health officials remain concerned about whether supply will be able to keep up with demand.
We have the capacity to vaccinate over 200,000 people a week in our county, and we're doing probably a third of that.
1 year into the fight, it's still unclear how the pandemic started, but former CDC Director Robert Redfield is pointing to China.
I still think the most likely etiology of this pathogen in Wuhan was from a laboratory, escaped.
He was giving an opinion as to a possibility. But again, there are other alternatives, others that most people hold by.
The World Health Organization is expected to release a full report soon about its findings. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Washington.
So far, more than 89 million Americans have received at least one dose of a COVID-19 vaccine. And back here in Minnesota, starting Tuesday, every Minnesotan 16 and older will be eligible for a COVID vaccine. Governor Tim Walz made that announcement this morning. The state is expecting a big increase in the number of weekly doses available to more than 300,000. That means they can open up more appointments. Groups like seniors and educators will still be prioritized, but Walz says this is a big step toward hitting the 80% vaccinated herd immunity.
We've got a ways to go, obviously, to get to 80%, but the infrastructure is there. The vaccines are coming. Minnesotans are showing a willingness to get this done, and this is how we beat it.
Walz is asking everyone to sign up on the Vaccine Connector tool, which will alert you when there are open appointments in your area. We have a link to that on our website. He's also asking everyone to continue following safety guidelines to slow the spread until everyone can get their shot. And after today's press conference, Governor Tim Walz was surprised by his American Sign Language interpreter, Nick Zapko, who walked up to the podium to announce that the governor had been awarded the Access Award by the Deaf, Blind, and Hard of Hearing community. It was 2 weeks ago Walz pulled a similar surprise on the interpreter, declaring March 9th Nick Zapko Day to acknowledge the work the interpreter has done to keep the public informed throughout the pandemic. Well, right now, as we speak, the UMD men's hockey team was supposed to be in the midst of the first round of the NCAA tournament, but we quickly found out today that plans had changed. CBS3 Sports Director Kelly Hinseth joins us now with more.
Yeah, well, Kristen, the good news is that the three-seeded Bulldogs are officially moving on to round 2 of the NCAA tournament, but not the way that they wanted or anyone expected. This game against Michigan today never happened this afternoon. A member of Michigan's Tier 1 testing groups of coaches and players tested positive for COVID-19 this morning. So the game is officially listed as a no contest, and the Bulldogs will advance to the round of 8 for the 6th consecutive season. The Dogs still took the ice for practice this afternoon and will spend the rest of the evening in film work. We'll hear from head coach Scott Sandlin tonight at 6. For now, Kristen, I'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Kelly. Nice to have you in the 5 with us tonight. And Dave, happy Friday. We made it.
Yeah, we have Kelly, too. That is a rare treat. And rare treat around here is what we call real spring. It teases us for a day or two, then goes away. It's going away right now, and winter's coming to call, at least for Saturday. So this live look at the, not Cotton area, farther down the road towards Twig, Highway 53 near Twig. Not too much snow left on the side of the road, but there is a tiny bit left. It could be reinforced tomorrow as a low-pressure system brings us upwards of a 80% chance for another rain-snow mix like we got the other day. And it's already pushing into western Minnesota, so 80% chance builds in tomorrow for another round of these rain and snow mixes that could accumulate to a trace to an inch for many places, but could be even thicker north of Duluth. So Twig just might be in the zone for 1 to 3. What's our short-term forecast hold? Well, that 50% chance for the mix begins tonight, turns into an 80% chance for Saturday morning and afternoon. High temp 40 degrees. Could be a little warmer and a little sunnier by Sunday. I think that'll melt off the snow, and we might get some really warm temperatures by Monday. We'll talk more about those coming up after just a few more minutes.
All right, thanks, Dave. Still to come on Live at 5, the Duluth Public Library is looking for an artist to create a piece for the Mount Royal branch. Details as we go around the Northland after the break.
You're watching Live at 5 with Kristen Vaki and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live Local CBS 3. Get your news on the go, the CBS 3 mobile app.
Fire threatens everything in its path. When it threatens our communities, we respond. We bring the fight to the front line. The Army National Guard stands ready because sometimes the front lines are in our own backyard. We will always be there when our community needs us the most. Find out more about serving your community part-time by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Looking for a new garage? Maybe a home or cabin shell? Call Economy Garages to make your visions a reality. With over 40 years experience and over 9,000 buildings built for your friends and neighbors, you can trust us to get the job done right.
Call Economy Garages when you want it done right.
You'll love the road ahead when you drive the 2021 Subaru Impreza. Standard EyeSight driver assist technology gives you an extra set of eyes on the road to help keep the journey safe. And the Impreza is a smart choice down the road. The 2021 Impreza. More than a car, it's a Subaru.
Lease the new 2021 Subaru Impreza for $219 a month during the Subaru A Lot to Love event going on now.
Ultra Deck Inspire, decking that makes life easier. Natural wood grain texture you never have to stain or paint. Slip-resistant surface that takes on weather. Durable, long-lasting material that takes on life. Tough, sustainable, and beautiful. Ultra Deck Inspire for every lifestyle. Exclusively at Menards.
Is your money still saving the hard way? Bucket your money and save for what matters most with Ally Smart Savings Tools for all things money.
Thank you for calling Ally. Welcome to CBS This Morning. We have a lot of news today.
Watch Gail King, Anthony Mason, and Tony DeCopel on CBS This Morning. Weekday mornings only on CBS.
Welcome back to the CBS 3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look from the Mont du Lac Ski Hill in Superior. They will wrap up their season this weekend, and Sunday will be their last day. Lift tickets on Sunday will only be 99 cents, and they will have live music on the deck. Dave will be in with this weekend's forecast in just a few minutes, but first, let's take a look around the region. Rain or shine, Boreal House is celebrating spring tomorrow, and the Boy Scouts are hosting a food drive for chum. All of that and more as we take you around the Northland, city by city. We start tonight in Duluth, where the Duluth Public Library is looking for an artist to create a piece of public artwork for the Mount Royal Branch Library. A request for qualifications is due on April 5th. The piece will celebrate our community's artistic, cultural, and historical attributes. It will be placed in a high-trafficked location inside the library and should be completed by June 30th. The library serves all people, and they will favor art that is inclusive and reflective of Duluth's diversity. Well, next we head to Boreal House, where tomorrow, rain or shine, they will be celebrating spring with their first annual Spring Beer Day. From 1 to 3 tomorrow, they will have a wide variety of free samples from local breweries, including Bent Paddle, Castle Danger, Earth Rider, Duluth Cider, Tin Whiskers, and much, much more. The entry fee is $10 and automatically enters you into drawings for breweries and swag. Taco in a bag will also be available for purchase. And finally, coming up tomorrow, local Boy Scout troops will be hosting a food drive for chum at local grocery stores. From 9 to 3, the Scouts will be at Mount Royal, the Super One Mall, Super One Kenwood, Super One West Duluth, and Super One Pike Lake. Every year, March is Minnesota Food Share Month, and a lot of chum and other food shelves are largely supported through donations during the yearly campaign. And if there's something going on in your neighborhood that you think we should know about, send us an email and it might be featured as we go around the Northland, city by city. Still to come on Live at 5, new signs have been posted at Duluth beaches warning of aluminum scraps wash ashore. More on that coming up in just a few minutes.
Today's temperatures took a farther nosedive down to 31 for the top 10 at the airport in Duluth. The normal is now up to 39 degrees, and it will stay cooler than normal, perhaps through Saturday. That'll help egg on this chance of snow we're talking about. I'll talk about how much snow is going to fall Saturday and how warm the rebound will get come Sunday and Monday right after our break.
I protect this house every time I step on the ice. J3 Insurance protects my house, my family, and everything important to me 24/7. Visit or call J3 Insurance today and protect what matters to you.
Funerals can be emotionally devastating for a family to go through. Besides the sorrow, loved ones are left with the high cost of arranging a funeral. Funeral Advantage was formed to help protect your family when they need it most. It pays your loved ones up to $20,000 immediately for funeral and any other expenses.
It's a good feeling to know that my family will be taken care of if anything happens to me.
Funerals can easily cost $9,000 or more, but government benefits pay only $255, leaving your loved ones to pay the rest.
It's so easy. Just answer a few simple health questions. This is so affordable, even for someone like me who's on a fixed income.
If you're 40 to 85, get information on how to protect your family. Funeral Advantage is something we all need. There's no risk or obligation. Call now.
Get the facts about how easy it is to protect your family. There's no risk or obligation. Don't wait. Call the number on your screen now.
Stone Countertop Outlet has thousands of slabs in stock. Every single one has a high-res photo online, making virtual design consultations easy. Visit stonecountertopoutlet.com or our new Superior showroom.
Join us weeknights. We're live at 5 as we go around the Northland city by city.
We hear from local county health departments as they prepare for COVID vaccine eligibility expansion.
There's a chance for rain-snow mixes to return tonight. I'll talk about how long they're going to stick around.
Tonight at 6 on CBS3.
COVID-19 vaccines are bringing hope and questions. This is why we're bringing understanding to the challenge of vaccinating America. Ongoing coverage on CBS News.
Local news and local weather here on CBS3.
Now, the CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
All right, let's talk about high temperatures. Like we mentioned a few minutes ago, cooler by the lake yet again thanks to an easterly wind. So we go in tight here and take a look at lakeside communities which had high temps below normal by several degrees, lower 30s for a lot of places. Farther inland, it started to warm up when you got away from the lake influence. So we had 43 from International Falls to Big Fork at 45, back down to 43 for Grand Rapids, and Moose Lake on the flanks got 41. But then it got cooler into Wisconsin and the UP as well. The warm spots for Wisconsin seem to be Solon Springs to Hayward at 36 and Watersmeet at 38. Temperatures will stay down through tomorrow, but even the lakeside communities should rebound on Sunday. And there is a chance on Monday we're going to hit 60 degrees everywhere. How long is that going to last? I will show you with the 7-day in just a bit, but right now we've got the current conditions at the airport in Duluth. It's 32, 73% for the relative humidity, southeast winds running 8 miles per hour, and our air pressure, 30.07 inches of mercury, 1,018 millibars at the surface. It's a little bit higher than normal, but we do have another low right on our doorstep, and so that'll overtake the region, cloud us up, and bring us a 80-90% chance for rain-snow mix tonight and Saturday. Current temps, 31 to 33 in the Upper Peninsula. Northern Wisconsin's running 31 from La Pointe to 36 down towards Hayward. And in Minnesota, the 30s are prevalent by the lake, even some upper 20s up the Gunflint Trail. But we get to the mid-30s as early as Cloquet and Carleton. And it's 41 down towards Moose Lake, as we saw earlier, into the 40s from Grand Rapids and an arc through International Falls. And so the hot spot seems to be to the north, which sometimes we run that discrepancy with our climate thanks to the influence of Lake Superior. Well, now let's take a look at what's coming around near Lake Superior with the Doppler map and a low-pressure system easing in from the west is starting to increase clouds and starting to kick up some rain showers over towards Koochiching and Itasca counties here. There's a 50% chance this will come across the rest of the region, especially towards the midnight hour. Then that builds up into an 80 to 90% chance throughout the day on Saturday. But once we get into Sunday, things should start to change. Higher pressure will come in from the northwest, and it will dry us up, try to clear us up, and by Monday really warm us up. But in between, yeah, some snow is possible. Tomorrow, much of the region is looking at about a trace to an inch, and for our friends in the Arrowhead, maybe 1 to 3 inches. Now, tonight in Minnesota, low temps there should go from 27 to 31. 50% chance for the mix, and a 50 to 60% chance for Wisconsin and the UP with lows there, 27 to 30. Tomorrow, cloudy sky, 90% chance for the rain-snow mix in Wisconsin and Michigan with high temps going 41 to 47. And in Minnesota, 30s by the lake, but lower 40s farther inland, and of course along with the mix chance. And the mix goes away towards sunshine on Sunday, and we go back to 45. There's 60 and sunny on Monday. Wow. But only Monday, back down to 45 by Tuesday. Then we drop again to 35 by Wednesday. That in turn, Kristen, won't last forever. We may go back into the 40s by Thursday, and the 50s again by next Friday. So you and I love to talk about that weather roller coaster.
Yes.
And again, like yesterday, our ticket is still valid for one more up and down ride.
All right, we'll have to hang on tight, I guess.
I guess so.
Thanks, Dave. Superior National Forest leaders are planning some prescribed burns. They hope it will keep the forest healthy and lower the risk of a major wildfire. If the conditions are right, the burns could start as early as next week. And you may have noticed a few ships out on the lake today, but at this point, we're still waiting for the first arrival to pass under the aerial lift bridge. According to those with the Duluth Seaway Port Authority, the ships are waiting for space to open up at a dock. A couple are waiting to head to 2 harbors, while the others will enter the Duluth Superior Harbor. This comes after the Soo locks opened up earlier this week. And with the shipping season underway, that means the Coast Guard has officially wrapped up its ice-breaking operations. This is video from the Duluth-based crew breaking ice on the Alder earlier this month. Over the 3 months in between shipping seasons, the Coast Guard spent 468 hours ice-breaking on all of the Great Lakes. Well, signs are now up warning people about pieces of shredded aluminum on Park Point Beach. The aluminum ended up there last year when the Army Corps of Engineers placed dredged material on the beach to help with erosion issues. The Army Corps took responsibility but says it was not intentional. As the weather warms up, they hope these signs will help warn people of the potential hazard.
It can be along the beach and spread out, so they're sometimes hard to spot, so the community needs to be cautious as they go up and down the beach.
The Army Corps has spent the past few months cleaning up any aluminum they've found. The city is expecting to share more information about next steps for cleanup plans and erosion prevention coming up next week. The Minnesota Power employee who died on the job Tuesday received a hero's escort back home to Grand Rapids today. James Gibbo was also a Grand Rapids firefighter. Today, his fellow crew members drove alongside his casket all the way from a Twin Cities area funeral home back to Itasca County. Other fire departments paid their respects along the route. Gibbo was electrocuted while working on a substation near Beauvais. He was 37 years old. Still to come, storms ravaged the southeastern part of the country last night. We have more on that after the break.
Spring into super savings during the Ready, Set, Go Toyota sales event at Cary Toyota in Superior. Lease a flashy new all-wheel drive Highlander or Highlander Hybrid and Toyota will pay your first payment up to $600. Lease this new sporty all-wheel drive Camry LE and your first month's payment is on Toyota. Looking for great gas mileage? Lease a sparkling new Corolla or Corolla Hybrid at Cary Toyota and Toyota will pay your first payment. Toyota's Ready, Set, Go sales event is on now through March 31st. Hurry in to score your awesome deal from Cary Toyota in Superior. Voted best car dealer in the Northland 22 times.
At UCare, we have something to say to all our members, new and old. Thanks for choosing UCare, giving us more reasons to keep moving forward and doing what we do best, answering questions and helping members make the most of their plan benefits. Because we're simplifiers, decomplicators, and, well, figure-outers. Call or go online. We're here for you. Hey, we're always around somewhere.
Memorial Blood Centers is facing a critical challenge maintaining an adequate supply of blood to meet the needs of our hospital partners. Donating blood is essential for healthcare and the health of our community, especially during a pandemic. To schedule an appointment or learn more, call 1-888-448-3253 or visit NBC.org.
Is being challenged by DFL.
The race is on. Learn how Berkey 2021
is it safe to be ice fishing on Lake Superior?
New funding is bringing more mental health resources.
Dave Anderson.
How a popular new recreational area is allowed.
Hear how one vaccination clinic in West Duluth is focusing
into the COVID-19 pandemic, and food insecurity is still
new year, new ownership.
To stay up to date with the news and weather that impacts you and your community, join us weekdays for CBS 3 Live at 5.
If you're unsure about receiving a COVID-19 vaccine,
we're here to reassure you that the vaccines are safe and effective.
They've been approved for emergency use by the FDA through a rigorous testing process.
And they've all been found to be nearly 100% effective at preventing hospitalization and death.
Because of this data, you can be confident that receiving your COVID-19 vaccine protects you and your loved ones.
Supplies are limited, so as soon as you have an opportunity to be vaccinated, please do so.
Thank you for doing your part to end this pandemic.
I've been teaching intro to meteorology here at Lake Superior College's flight school since 2003. Every year now for the past 18 years, I've been able to sharpen my own skills again once a year, but it's like I'm retaking intro to meteorology, and so I remember the rules of the sky, and it's easier to impart those rules on these pilots that are going to need to learn these skills so they can stay safe in the sky.
For the most local forecast from the most experienced local meteorologist, turn to Dave Anderson.
Epilepsy can affect anyone with a brain.
It does not discriminate.
If you have a brain,
you can get epilepsy.
But here's something that's just as important to know.
Anyone with a brain can affect epilepsy.
So let's use our brains to do just that.
Let's change the way people think about epilepsy.
To find cures.
Because if all of us can get epilepsy,
all of us can end epilepsy.
We just need to use our brains.
Let's use our brains. Let's use our brains.
Let's use our brains to end epilepsy.
Overnight last night, the southeastern part of the country was hit hard with severe weather. Nearly 24 tornadoes were reported in Alabama and Georgia, as was a powerful 111-mile-per-hour F2 twister. At least 6 people are dead in one Alabama county. A Georgia high school was also impacted, and school was closed there today. Phone lines were down across the region, and travel is not advised. Those in Tennessee were also impacted, and across the region, thousands went without power. More rainy weather could pass through the states tonight. And as we await ships to come through the canal and pass under the lift bridge here at home, ships in the Suez Canal in Egypt are awaiting the canal to be reopened. A huge gust of wind blew the Ever Given sideways on Tuesday, and it is still lodged that way. Digging crews are working to clear sand away so they can try to pull it out at high tide. If that doesn't work, they will try emptying the gas tank to make the ship lighter, but risk capsize. As the blockage continues to back up other ships, 10% of the world's trade is being held up. A few ships headed for the canal have already begun to shift course, which could cause even further delays.
Coming up on the CBS Evening News. At least 6 people are dead tonight after devastating tornadoes sweep through Alabama and Georgia. Dozens of homes destroyed, and the South braces for even more storms. Plus, as more Americans get vaccinated against coronavirus, why health officials are still warning of a possible 4th surge. And CBS's Steve Harmon goes on the road. The delicious fundraising idea one son came up with to grant a final wish for his mom. That's tonight on the CBS Evening News.
CBS 3 closed captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health. March is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. If you're 50 or older, ask your doctor about screening options.
Did you know that 178 million Americans are missing at least one tooth?
It's true. That's why at Affordable Dentures and Implants, we only focus on tooth replacement solutions.
Whether it's a single tooth, full dentures, or dental implants, we have an experienced dentist who can create a new smile just for you.
At a price that's affordable.
Because at Affordable Dentures and Implants, we want you to go ahead and smile.
For over 20 years, Breeze Roofing has been totally dedicated to getting the job done right, and done right now. We pride ourselves on being the highest quality exterior remodelers in the area. Call Breeze for all your roofing needs.
You'll love the road ahead when you drive the 2021 Subaru Impreza. Standard EyeSight driver assist technology gives you an extra set of eyes on the road to help keep the journey safe. And the Impreza is a smart choice down the road. The 2021 Impreza. More than a car, it's a Subaru.
Lease the new 2021 Subaru Impreza for $219 a month during the Subaru A Lot to Love event going on now.
Get your news on the go, the CBS3 mobile app.
Heart attacks and strokes happen, even in the midst of COVID-19, and at least one will occur while you're watching this. Heart attacks and strokes are medical emergencies. If you experience symptoms of a heart attack or stroke, do not delay seeking care. Call 911 immediately. Hospitals are prepared and can safely treat you. Visit cdc.gov/coronavirus to learn more.
Men's wardrobe provided by Mainstream Fashions for Men, celebrating 30 years in business in 2021 with 30% off store-wide, downtown Duluth.
Welcome back to the CBS3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look from Canal Park on this Friday evening. Let's take a look back at today's top story and see what's coming up at 6. Tonight we heard from the Duluth branch of the NAACP as they laid out demands for the Duluth Police Department. And tonight at 6, Wisconsin's governor said the state hit a record in single-day vaccinations today. That's your news at 5. The CBS Evening News is next. We'll see you right back here at 6.